Commander Ta Jin Kim stood tall on the bridge of the Earth, ship Harmony *. Today was the day humanity would meet aliens for the first time. After years of sending signals into space, someone had finally answered. "Are you nervous, Commander?" asked Haenul, the ship's intelligence officer. "A little," said Ta Jin with a small smile. "Wouldn't you be?" The year was 2157. Earth had changed much in the last century. Countries worked together now. Space travel was common. Humans had colonies on Mars and bases on several moons in the solar system. But they had never met other intelligent life. Until now. "The Niveri ship is approaching, Commander," said the navigation officer. "They're following our agreed path." On the main screen, a strange ship came into view. It looked nothing like human ships. It had no sharp edges, just smooth curves that shimmered with a blue-green light. It was beautiful. "Open communication channels," ordered Ta Jin. The screen flickered, and then they saw the aliens for the first time. The Niveri looked like tall, walking crystals. Light played across their bodies, changing colors as they moved. The main Niveri stepped forward, its body glowing brighter. "Greetings, humans of Earth," it said in perfect English. "I am Envoy Tellus of the Niveri Collective." Ta Jin bowed slightly. "I am Commander Ta Jin Kim of the Earth Defense Force. We welcome you in peace and friendship." The meeting started well. They shared basic information about their worlds. The Niveri seemed curious about Earth culture and history. But then something changed. One of the crystal beings moved a device toward the screen. It made a soft humming sound. "If you don't mind," said Tellus, "we would like to take some basic readings to understand your biology better." "Of course," said Ta Jin. He nodded to his crew, who stood still for the scan. The device hummed louder. Suddenly, all the Niveri froze. Their colors changed from peaceful blues to alarming reds and oranges. "Is something wrong?" asked Ta Jin. The Niveri were talking quickly to each other in their language. Their movements became jerky and fast. We must consult with our leaders," said Tellus, voice now stiff and formal. "This meeting is over for now." The screen went black. "What just happened?" Ta Jin asked, turning to his crew. Haenul was already working at her station. "Unknown, sir, but they scanned our vital signs, brain patterns, and muscle density. Something in that data scared them." For 3 days, the Harmony waited. The Niveri ship stayed far away, not responding to calls. Ta Jin was about to order a return to Earth when Haenul called him to her station. "Sir, I've been monitoring their communications. Their encryption is good, but I found patterns." She looked troubled. "They keep using one phrase over and over. My translation program thinks it means predator species." Ta Jin frowned. "They think we're predators. It gets worse. They've sent messages to other alien species. Many messages." Haenul looked up at her commander. "I think they're warning others about us." Back on Earth, emergency meetings began. Military forces went on alert. Colony ships prepared for possible evacuation. Ta Jin gave his report to world leaders, feeling the weight of what was happening. "They fear us," he explained to the United Earth Council. "Not for what we've done, but for what we are." "And what are we?" asked the council president. Ta Jin took a deep breath. "According to the Niveri, we are monsters." As the meeting continued, Ta Jin looked out the window at the peaceful Earth below. For the first time in his life, he wondered if humanity's place among the stars would not be one of exploration and friendship, but of fear and conflict. And all because of what they were born to be. 3 months passed since the Niveri had fled. Earth prepared for war. Ships were built. Weapons were made. People trained for a fight that might come any day. Commander Ta Jin Kim now led Earth's first contact defense unit. He worked closely with scientist Jai-Ho Lee, who studied everything they knew about the Niveri. "They're coming back," said Haenul one morning, rushing into the command center. But not alone. On the big screen, 5 ships appeared. One was Navari. The others were new designs. "This is Envoy Tellus of the Navari Collective," came the familiar voice. "We return with representatives of the Galactic Council, a union of 27 spacefaring species. We wish to meet." The meeting was set for the lunar base, away from Earth just in case. Tajin, Jaiho, Henul, and 5 world leaders waited as the aliens entered. Besides the crystal-like Navari, there were 4 other species: tall, thin beings with 4 arms, short creatures with large eyes, floating jellyfish-like entities, and beings that looked like walking trees. "I am High Counselor Arab," said the 4-armed alien. "We represent the Galactic Council. We must discuss your unusual species." The Earth President stepped forward. "We are peaceful. We don't understand why the Navari fled from us." The aliens looked at each other. The tree-like one spoke in a deep voice. "You truly don't know what you are, do you?" Jaiho moved closer. "What do you mean?" The aliens set up a device that showed brain scans, some alien, some human. "This is a normal sentient brain," said Arab, pointing to the alien scans. "And this is yours." The human brain showed activity in areas that were dark in the alien brains. In simple terms, Arab continued, all known sentient species evolved from prey animals. When faced with danger, our brains shut down higher functions. We flee. We hide. It is our nature. "But you," said the jellyfish alien, its voice high and wavering, "you evolved from predators. When threatened, your brains remain fully active. You can feel fear and still think clearly. You can be hurt and still fight." Jaiho's eyes widened. "That's why you fear us, because we don't panic under stress." "It is more," said Tellus. "Your bodies are built for hunting. You can chase prey for hours without rest. Your eyes focus forward like all predators. You have endurance no other species possesses." The short alien stepped forward. "Show them the training video." A new image appeared, a human running on a treadmill for a fitness test. The aliens in the room moved back, clearly disturbed. "What's wrong?" asked Tajin. "To us, this is horror," said Arab. "No prey species can run that long. It is the stuff of nightmares, a creature that never stops coming." Hanul whispered to Tajin. "They see us as movie monsters." The tree alien spoke again. "The Council has classified Earth as a Class 1 apex predator species. This comes with restrictions." They presented their terms. Humans could not expand beyond their solar system. All ships must carry tracking devices. No human colony could have more than 10,000 people. Earth must accept alien observers. "This is not fair," the Earth President protested. "We've done nothing wrong." "It is not about what you've done," said Arab. "It is about what you are capable of doing." As the meeting ended, Tajin walked with Jaiho and Henul back to their ship. "So the whole galaxy is afraid of us, because we can run a marathon and stay calm in a crisis," Henul said, shaking her head. Jaiho looked thoughtful. "Fear isn't logical. To them, we're the monster under the bed." Tajin looked back at the aliens boarding their ships. They'd formed an entire galactic government without ever meeting a predator species. No wonder they're terrified. "What do we do now?" asked Hanul. "We follow their rules," said Tajin. "For now. And we prepare, because scared people do desperate things. And I think they're very, very scared of us." As their ship took off, the 3 looked down at Earth, beautiful and blue. They all had the same thought. How long would the aliens let them keep it? 6 years passed since humans learned they were seen as monsters by the galaxy. On the surface, Earth obeyed the Council's rules. Human ships stayed inside the solar system. Alien observers lived on Earth, watching everything humans did. But in secret, humanity prepared. Yoonji Choi was Earth's main speaker to the Council. Today, she stood before the alien leaders once again, fighting for human rights. "We have followed your rules for 6 years," she said. "We have shown we are peaceful. It's time to lift some restrictions. High Counselor Arab's four arms moved in a pattern that humans now knew meant discomfort. Your behavior has been acceptable, Arab admitted, but your nature remains unchanged. Our nature? Yunji asked, keeping her voice calm though she felt angry inside. We cannot change how we evolved. From the back of the chamber, a new voice spoke. Perhaps they can. All turned to see a tall, thin alien with pale skin. Yunji had never seen this species before. This is Counselor Vex of the Morax, said Arab. Their species joined the council recently. Vex moved forward with quick, sharp steps. My people have studied human biology. We believe we can fix them. Fix us? Yunji asked. A simple change to your genetics, said Vex. We can remove the predator parts of your brain. Make you more like us. More safe. The room fell silent. Yunji felt cold all over. You want to change what makes us human, she said finally. We want to remove what makes you dangerous, Vex replied. Back on Earth, Admiral Hyunwoo Kang received an urgent message. His spy drones around Jupiter had captured images of a large alien fleet hiding behind the giant planet's moons. How many ships? Asked Ta Jin, now a general, as they met in the secure underground command center. Over 300, said Hyunwoo. More arriving each day. Jai-Ho Lee studied the images. Those aren't regular council ships. See the markings. They're military. Hanul entered the room, face grim. It gets worse. I've decoded their communications. It's not an invasion force. It's an extermination fleet. She played a recording. The alien voice was clear. The human problem must be solved permanently. The sterilization of their world will begin after the council meeting. They're going to kill us all, said Ta Jin softly, no matter what we do. 2 days later, Yunji stood before the council again. This time, all 27 alien species were present. Humanity has been given time to adapt, said Arab. Now you must choose. Accept genetic modification to remove your predator traits or face consequences. What consequences? Asked Yunji, though she already knew. Earth will be quarantined. Permanently, said Vex with a cold smile. Yunji took a deep breath. I must bring this offer to Earth's leaders. When she returned to Earth, the world leaders gathered. Yunji told them the aliens' demand. They want to change our DNA, she said. Make us unable to fight, to stay strong under pressure. Make us prey like them. And if we refuse? Asked the Earth President. Admiral Hyunwoo showed the images of the hidden fleet. They'll destroy us. The room erupted in angry voices. When quiet returned, the vote was taken. It was unanimous. We will not surrender what makes us human, the President announced. Tell the Council our answer is no. As Yunji prepared to deliver Earth's reply, General Ta Jin activated a special code on his communication device. Begin protocol diaspora, he ordered. We have days, maybe hours, before they attack. Across the solar system, hidden facilities came to life. Ships that had been built in secret prepared to launch. Earth might fall, but humanity would survive. And someday, they would return. The attack came at dawn. Hundreds of alien ships appeared around Earth. They moved past the moon base and headed straight for the planet. Earth's defense systems came online immediately. Admiral Hyunwoo Kang stood on the bridge of his flagship, the *Hide8*. Around him, crew members worked at their stations, faces tight with fear, but hands steady. All ships report ready, Admiral, said his second-in-command. Hyunwoo nodded. Begin defense pattern Alpha. Protect the evacuation centers at all costs. Across the solar system, hidden doors opened in asteroids and moons. Ships that had been built in secret over 6 years launched into space. On Earth, millions of people rushed to underground bunkers that connected to these ships. Enemy vessels are firing, shouted the sensor officer. Bright beams of energy shot from the alien ships. Earth's orbital defense platforms fired back. The space around Earth lit up like fireworks. The first alien ships exploded, taken by surprise at the strength of Earth's defenses. But there were too many of them. "Admiral, they're targeting our defense satellites first," reported Captain Min Seo-yoon from her ship, the Swift Asterisk. "They want to clear a path to the surface." "Understood," said Hyunwoo. "Captain Yoon, take your squadron and protect the southern satellites. We'll handle the northern approach." The battle raged for hours. Human ships fought bravely, but they were outnumbered. One by one, Earth's defenses fell. But something strange was happening. The alien attack was not going as smoothly as they had planned. "Admiral, look at this," said the tactical officer on the HFY Asterisk. "The aliens keep making the same moves. They follow patterns." Hyunwoo studied the battle display. "They rely too much on their computers. They don't adapt quickly." He opened a channel to all Earth ships. "Change tactics. Don't follow standard patterns. Make decisions on the spot. Be unpredictable." Human captains immediately understood. They began making quick, unexpected moves. Alien ships, programmed to fight in certain ways, couldn't keep up. On the Swift Asterisk, Captain Min Seo saw an opportunity. A large alien vessel had moved away from its group, confused by the humans' unpredictable moves. "All power to engines," she ordered. "We're going to capture that ship." The Swift Asterisk shot forward, followed by two smaller craft. They surrounded the alien vessel and fired special weapons that disabled its engines. "Boarding teams ready," Min Seo said. "Let's see what secrets they have." While the battle continued around Earth, Min Seo's team entered the alien ship. They fought their way to the control room. The aliens, surprised by the direct attack, surrendered quickly. "Download everything from their computers," Min Seo ordered. Back on the HFY Asterisk, Admiral Hyunwoo received an urgent message from Earth. Scientist Jae-ho Lee appeared on the screen. "Admiral, the evacuation is at 60%, said Jae-ho. "But we need more time. At least 6 more hours." "We may not have 6 minutes," Hyunwoo replied, watching as more alien ships broke through their lines. Just then, Captain Min Seo's face appeared on another screen. "Admiral, we found something. The aliens have a bioweapon. They plan to release it after their ships withdraw." She sent the data from the captured ship. Jae-ho studied it quickly, face growing pale. "This targets human DNA," he said. "It would kill every human on Earth, but leave everything else intact. They want our planet, not just our extinction." "How long do we have?" asked Hyunwoo. "They plan to launch it in 5 hours, said Min Seo. Hyunwoo made his decision. "All ships, this is Admiral Kang. New priority. Buy time for the evacuation at any cost. Earth must not fall until our people are safe." As the battle entered its second day, the brave defenders of Earth fought on. Knowing each minute they held out meant more lives saved. And far below, the last hope of humanity prepared to leave their home forever. "We need more time." Director Jun Ho Shin shouted over the noise of people rushing through the underground base. As head of the colonial authority, he was in charge of humanity's last hope, protocol diaspora. For 6 years, they had built ships in secret, hundreds of them, hidden in asteroids, inside hollow moons, deep under Earth's oceans. Now those ships were their only chance. Junho looked at the large screen showing Earth from space. Parts of it were burning where alien weapons had hit. Defense satellites fell one by one. The space around Earth was filled with explosions as human ships fought to buy time. "Current evacuation status," he asked his assistant. 43% complete, she reported. "European and Asian centers are moving fastest. Problems in North America and Africa. Some transport tunnels were damaged." Junho hit the communication button. "All centers, this is Director Shin. Speed up loading. Priority to children and young adults. Bring only essential supplies. Miles below the Atlantic Ocean, enormous doors opened. A massive ship, large enough to carry 50,000 people, rose from its secret dock. Similar scenes happened around the world as humanity's escape vessels launched. On the flagship Heyday Admiral Hyun Woo-kang watched as another of his defense ships exploded. "Sir, we can't hold much longer," said his tactical officer. "We must," said Hyun-woo simply. "Every minute means more survivors." The ship shook as enemy weapons hit their shields. Hyun-woo opened a channel to Captain Min Seo-yoon. "Captain, take your data from the alien ship to the evacuation point. That information is too valuable to lose." "But Admiral," Min Seo began. "That's an order," said Hyun-woo. "The Swift is fast. You can still make it through their lines." Reluctantly, Min Seo ordered her ship to break away from the battle. The Swift shot past alien vessels, taking hits but moving too quickly to be destroyed. In a laboratory deep under Mount Fuji, engineer Soo-bin Kwon worked frantically. Next to her, Jae-ho Lee analyzed the alien bioweapon data. "I think I've got it," said Soo-bin finally. She held up a small device. "This should mask human biosignatures, make our ships harder to track." "Will it work?" asked Jae-ho. "In theory," said Soo-bin. "I haven't had time to test it properly." An explosion shook the lab. Dust fell from the ceiling. "We're out of time," said Jae-ho. "Let's go." They grabbed the device and ran for the evacuation tunnel. Around them, thousands of people moved through the massive underground complex toward the waiting ships. At a security, 5 years had passed since Earth fell. The galaxy had changed. Colonel Da-hyun Lim stood on the bridge of his ship, the Shadow *. It was small, painted black, and nearly impossible to detect. Perfect for what they did now. "Target in sight, Colonel," said his pilot. "Council supply ship, just as our information said." Da-hyun nodded. "Take us in." Quiet mode. The Shadow * moved through space without lights, its engines barely making a sound. The Council supply ship ahead was large and slow, carrying materials to one of their military bases. "They have no idea we're here," said Young Mi-song, the communications specialist. She smiled. "Their crew is talking about normal things. Families. Food. No alarm." "Let's change that," said Da-hyun. Attack pattern Delta. The Shadow * suddenly lit up. It shot forward, weapons firing. The supply ship had no time to call for help. The human vessel hit its engines first, then its communication array. "Boarding teams ready," ordered Da-hyun. Human soldiers entered the alien ship. The battle was short. Most of the aliens surrendered immediately, dropping their weapons and trembling. "Look at them," said one of the human soldiers. "They're terrified of us." Young Mi plugged into the ship's computer system. "I'm downloading their data now and sending our message." On the ship's main communication system, a simple video began to play. It showed humans working, building, living on new worlds. Then it showed human ships defeating alien vessels. It ended with words in the council language. "We survive. We remember. We return." Message sent to all nearby systems. Young Mi reported. Da-hyun nodded. "Take what we need, then let them go." Hours later, back on the Shadow *, Da-hyun read through the data they had stolen. It was the same story everywhere. Council forces were stretched thin, trying to hunt down human colonies. And they were afraid. Reports showed alien crews having mental breakdowns. Some refused to search areas where humans might be. Others quit the military entirely. Just the idea that humans might be nearby was too much for their prey minds. "Sir," called Young Mi, "you need to see this." She showed him a special council report. It described a new problem. Fear of humans was spreading among civilian populations. Children were having nightmares about the predators. Some couldn't sleep without lights on. "They've made us into monsters," said Dahyun. We didn't do anything, replied Youngmei. They fear what we are, not what we've done. Dahyun turned to a different report. This one showed something unexpected. A council scientist named Saigali had been studying human art, music, and literature recovered from Earth. Saigali's report questioned the council's actions. How can creatures who create such beauty be pure monsters? Saigali had written, their stories show understanding of fear, of being prey. They imagine being hunted. No true predator thinks this way. Dahyun sent this information to the human leadership on hidden colonies across the galaxy. This could be useful. On the main council world, Saigali stood before the High Council, nervous but determined. The human problem grows worse, said High Councilor Arab. They attack our ships and disappear. They send threatening messages. Their very existence causes fear. Perhaps, Saigali suggested carefully, we should try to understand them better. Understand predators, another counselor laughed. They understand only hunting and killing. I have studied their culture, Saigali insisted. They are more complex than we believed. They have empathy. They care for the weak. These are not predator traits. Enough. Arab's 4 arms moved in anger. The humans must be found and eliminated. That is the council's decision. As the meeting ended, Saigali walked away, troubled. Looking up at the stars, the scientist wondered how many humans were out there, watching and waiting. And for the first time, Saigali hoped some of them would survive. The planet New Sol was not a nice place to live. It had active volcanoes, harsh storms, and air that burned your lungs without special masks. But these things made it perfect for humans to hide. Governor Sang-hoon Park looked out from his underground office window at the colony's main cavern. 3,000 humans lived here, in homes carved from rock. Steam from the hot springs provided power. Farms using special lights grew food. Governor, our guests have arrived, said his assistant. 5 men and women entered, each from a different human colony. They looked tired from long travel. Welcome to New Sol, said Sang-hoon. I wish we could meet in better times. We all wish that, said a woman with short gray hair. She led the colony on Frost, an ice planet. But wishes won't save humanity. They sat around a table made of volcanic rock. A map of the galaxy appeared above it, showing tiny lights where human colonies existed. We have 43 confirmed colonies, Sang-hoon explained, each with less than 5,000 people. Small enough to hide, but large enough to survive. And the council? Asked the man from Red Rock Colony. Still hunting us, Sang-hoon said, but they're struggling. Our worlds are too harsh for them, places they never wanted or settled. A message arrived. Commander Ji-woo Kang was calling from her mission. Everyone waited as the screen lit up, showing a woman in combat armor. Governor Park, Ji-woo nodded. Leaders, I have news. Ji-woo led the special forces that protected the colonies. Her teams were small but effective, using human strengths against the aliens. The council has hired hunters, she reported. Other predator species from outside council space. They're offering big rewards for human captures. The room grew quiet. This was bad news. How dangerous are these hunters? Asked Sang-hoon. Very, said Ji-woo. But they're not used to working together. We captured one group last week. They fought each other as much as they fought us. She smiled slightly. And they have weakness. They need rest. They get tired. They feel pain and fear. Unlike the stories they tell about us, said the gray-haired woman. Exactly, Ji-woo agreed. We've developed new tactics. We don't try to win by force. We win by endurance. We retreat, we hide, we wait. Then we hit them when they're exhausted. The colony leaders nodded. This was the human way now. Patience, persistence, never giving up. There's more, said Ji-woo. We captured a council patrol ship, intact. Everyone sat up straighter. This was big news. It has current star maps. Jiwoo continued. Communication codes. Everything we need to track council movements and listen to their messages. With that information, we could coordinate between colonies better, Sang-hoon said. Maybe even find more survivors. Or launch bigger attacks, said the man from Red Rock. Sang-hoon shook his head. We're not ready for war. We need to grow stronger first. After the meeting, Sang-hoon walked with Jiwoo through the colony. Children played in a cavern park. Old people taught young ones about Earth, keeping memories alive. Sometimes I wonder if we're doing the right thing, said Sang-hoon quietly. Maybe we should look for a way to make peace. Jiwoo stopped walking. The council tried to kill us all. They still want us dead. Not all of them, Sang-hoon said. Have you heard about this scientist, HFY? The one studying human culture? Jiwoo nodded. One voice among millions. But a start, said Sang-hoon. We need to be ready for war, yes, but also for peace. If we only think about fighting, we become what they fear we are. As they watched the children play, both knew the hard truth. For humanity to have a future, they needed to survive. But to truly live again, they needed more than survival. They needed hope. 10 years had passed since Earth was lost. Yoon-ji Choi, once Earth's voice to the council, now led the human diplomatic corps. Today, she sat in a small ship at the edge of an empty star system, waiting. Are you sure this isn't a trap? Asked her security officer. No, said Yoon-ji honestly. But we need to take the risk. A small ship appeared nearby. It was council designed but carried no official markings. They're sending a message, said the communications officer. Text only. The message was simple. I come alone. Yoon-ji nodded. Let them dock. When the airlock opened, a single alien stepped through. It was HFY, the council scientist who had studied human culture. HFY looked nervous, eyes darting around. Thank you for meeting me, the alien said. It was not easy to come here. Why did you? Asked Yoon-ji. Because the council is wrong about humans, said HFY. And some of us know it now. They talked for hours. HFY had formed a secret group within the council, scientists, teachers, even some military officers who questioned the war against humans. We call ourselves the Truth Seekers, explained HFY. We believe the council's fear of humans comes from somewhere deeper than just your biology. What do you mean? Asked Yoon-ji. I found old records, stories passed down for thousands of years, said HFY. Before the council formed, many of our species were prey to another intelligent species. They hunted us, nearly wiped us out. What happened to them? Asked Yoon-ji. They disappeared. Maybe they died in some disaster. But the fear remained, passed down in stories and in our genes. When we met humans, that ancient fear woke up again. This was important news. Yoon-ji sent it immediately to all human colonies. On the hidden world of Haven, Admiral Hyun-woo Kang received the message. He shared it with Jae-ho Lee, who had continued his research on both human and alien biology over the years. This explains so much, said Jae-ho. They're not just afraid of what we might do. They're remembering what was done to them long ago. Can we use this information? Asked Hyun-woo. Maybe, said Jae-ho. I've been working on something that might help. He showed Hyun-woo his lab. There, brain scans of both humans and aliens filled the screens. I've been studying what makes humans different, Jae-ho explained. Our ability to handle stress, to think clearly during danger. I think it's transferable. What do you mean? Asked Hyun-woo. I've developed a treatment that could help council species process fear the way humans do, said Jae-ho. Not to make them like us completely, but to let them control their fear response better. Hyun-woo looked surprised. You want to help the people who tried to kill us all. I want to give them a choice, said Jae-ho. Fear is controlling them. Maybe if they could think more clearly about humans, they would see we're not their ancient enemy. Meanwhile, on New Seoul, Governor Sang-hoon received both Yunji's report and Jae-ho's research. He called a meeting of all colony leaders. "We have two pieces of important news," he told them. "First, we now understand why the Council fears us so deeply. Second, we might have a way to help them overcome that fear." "Why should we help them?" asked one leader angrily. "They destroyed Earth." "Because we have two choices," said Sang-hoon. "We can keep fighting a war we might eventually lose, or we can try to break the cycle of fear." "It's not that simple," argued another leader. "They won't just accept our help." "No," agreed Sang-hoon. "But for the first time in 10 years, we have hope for something better than just survival." As the debate continued, a message arrived from Eunji. Civili's group was growing. More council members were questioning the war. The door was opening, just a little, for a different future. If humans were brave enough to try. 15 years after Earth fell, humans were ready. Colony ships that had hidden for years now gathered at a secret meeting point. Fighters and warships formed a fleet larger than any seen since Earth's defense. General Ta-Jin Kim, his hair now white, stood on the bridge of the flagship New Earth. Around him, officers who had once been young cadets worked at their stations. "All ships report ready, General," said his second-in-command. Ta-Jin nodded. "Open a channel to all vessels." On screens throughout the fleet, his face appeared. Everyone stopped to listen. "Today, we could attack the Council with all our strength," Ta-Jin said. "We might win, we might lose, but either way, the killing would continue." He paused, looking at the faces watching him. "But we are not what they fear. We are not mindless predators who only know how to hunt and kill. We are humans. And today, we choose a different path." On the Council homeworld, alarms blared. Hundreds of human ships had appeared near the planet. The Council chamber filled with panicked aliens. "They've come to destroy us," cried one counselor. "We can't stop so many ships," said another. High Counselor Arab tried to keep order. "Evacuate the cities. Send all defense ships." A message came from the human fleet. On the screen appeared General Ta-Jin, Admiral Hyunwoo, Yunji Choi, Jae-ho Lee, and Civili. "People of the Council," said Yunji, "we do not come to fight." "Lies," shouted a counselor. "You come for revenge." "If that were true," said Ta-Jin calmly, "we would already be attacking. We come to offer peace." "What kind of peace?" asked Arab, forearms moving nervously. Jae-ho stepped forward. "One that will free you from fear." He explained the treatment he had developed. It would temporarily give Council species the ability to process fear the way humans did, to feel it but not be controlled by it. "We ask only that your leaders try it," said Jae-ho. "For one day, experience the world as we do. Then decide if we are monsters." The Council argued for hours. Finally, pushed by Civili and other truth-seekers, they agreed. 100 leaders, including Arab, would take the treatment. The next day, they gathered in a special room. Jae-ho administered the treatment himself. Then they waited. "I feel strange," said Arab after an hour. "The fear is still there, but distant. I can think around it." The Council members moved about the room, testing their new feelings. They watched videos of humans running, fighting, working, things that had terrified them before. Now they could study these actions with curiosity instead of panic. "I understand now," said Arab finally. "Your strength is not just in your bodies, but in your minds. You feel fear but choose action anyway." "That's what it means to be human," said Ta-Jin. 3 days later, the new Concord was signed. Humans would no longer be classified as predators, but as guardian species. They would help protect the galaxy and teach other species how to overcome their fears. Earth would remain a memorial, untouched, but humans could settle new worlds and travel freely. As the ceremony ended, Ta-Jin stood with his old friends, Hyunwoo, Jae-ho, Haenul, Yunji. They had lost so much. Their home, many of their people. Was it worth it? Asked Honyul. All the running, all the fighting. We did more than survive, said Tajin. We proved them wrong about us. We showed them what humans really are. And what are we? Asked Yunji. Tajin looked out at the stars, thinking of all the generations to come who would know a different galaxy than the one that had feared them. We are teachers now, he said. We teach the galaxy not to live in fear. Far away, on New Sol, children played under open skies for the first time. They would grow up in peace, not running, not hiding. The hunters had become guardians, and the galaxy would never be the same.